morning, everyone. My name is Sandy, and I'm one of the kinesiologists with the Minto-Mapleton Family Health Team. And we are going to participate in a seated chair cardio workout. So just to remind everyone, what you might need for equipment if you're going to join me from home is you would need a chair, preferably without arms, so that the arms aren't in our way when we move from our chair. It is ideal for you to be wearing comfortable shoes that give you support, such as a running shoe or a walking shoe, something with a heel on the back to cover your heel, not heel and height. You also want to have with you, depending on what type of flooring you are sitting your chair on, you might want something to smoothly glide over the surface of the floor. So if it's carpet, sometimes paper plates will work. If it's linoleum or hardwood, maybe a cloth. So I've got a couple of pieces of paper towel here as well as the paper plate, so we will be using that later on. You will also like to have some type of stool, so a little wee step stool, something like that, as well as a great prop to have. If you're doing this in the comfort of your own home, later on, it's nice to maybe have your own music to work to a little bit of a beat. Sometimes that's kind of nice to have. So those are things that we'll need to use throughout today's class. The class is going to be about an hour in length, and you have the option to slow down when you need to, and I'll cue you with all of that as well. So what we're going to do, and it's also good to have a little bit of water with you as well. So I'll cue you to have some sips of water when you're ready to. So we're going to get ready here. Hopefully all you guys have arranged all of the props that you might have needed. If not, just pause the video, go get what you need, and then come back. We're going to start with a bit of a warm-up. And the warm-up can either be done seated or standing, and your choice. I am going to stand up here in a few minutes to do the warm-up. Another version of the warm-up, if you would prefer, is actually just doing some laps in your home, maybe through the kitchen and into the living room and back around, and you can do some slow walking for about 3 minutes. Make sure you reverse your direction of your lap, so you're not always turning to the left or always turning to the right. Reversing your direction each lap would be helpful. So we'll do a bit of a warm-up starting now for 3 minutes. So I'll call you guys back in if you are going to leave the video and do some walking. So keep an ear out for my holler, woo woo, and that'll bring us back. So let's begin. If we're seated, we will do a march on the spot from the chair. If you'd like to do it standing, we can kind of just do a nice light march. This is just a warm-up, so we really want to allow the body to slowly get engaged, moving our arms as well as our legs, making sure that we are purposeful in our movements. So we are lifting the foot off the ground and lowering it back down. We're not letting gravity stomp our feet back to the floor. We want to be placing those feet up and off the floor, as well as lowering them down and back onto the floor. So nice and gentle. So, we can get our arms swinging forward a little bit larger, really exaggerate our swing forward, as well as our swing back to engage those muscles. We can kind of bend the elbows and kind of make a running motion, starting to lift our knees a little bit higher. And again, if we're seated, we can do this same thing by exaggerating the arms and lifting up a little bit higher. Awesome job. So again, back to standing if we are. We can tap our toes out to the side, maybe follow with our arms for a little bit of a warm-up, and that can look like this when we're seated. Okay? Nice job, everyone. And now back to marching. So that's also marching on the spot if we're marching standing. And then just some light heel touches in front. So again, nice light placement of your feet. We're not stomping the ground, trying to make imprints at all with our heels. We're just tapping lightly. Arms can sway to our side or forward and back, and forward and back. Awesome. So that will look the same seated. We're just tapping our heels forward and back. back into our march, okay, either seated or standing. And let's bring our arms up as we breathe in. And breathe out. Lower those arms back down. So again, arms up as we breathe in. And slowly lower back down. And again, arms up and breathe in. And slow exhale as we lower back down. Awesome job. So we're just going to tap to the side. Awesome. A quick change to heels out front. A little tap. Awesome. And then a little change to heels out back. Tap. Or sorry, not heels out back, but your toes. Reaching with your toes back. Tap. 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 All right, let's march it out again. There's our 3 minutes of warming up, so we'll do a little woo to call you back if you have been walking around your room. And let's have a seat. If you need to, you can switch to, you can grab a little drink of water. You might have got a little dry. Doing that little bit of activity. So we are going to go through a list of different, there's about 14 exercises that I'm going to show you this morning. And the first one is just getting into that march. And we're going to do the march, and we're going to start to experiment how this feels. I want you to again think about just lightly picking your foot up and gently placing it back down. So the muscles of the legs are lifting and lowering. And so I want you to think about your core and what the rest of your body is. You're not just slumped back, hopefully, in your chair. But I do want you, if I just turn in my chair to show you, I do want to get you guys to engage your core muscles and sit up nice and tall. Have your shoulders stacked right over your hips, so you're not slouched back like this or hunched forward, but that you're actually standing nice and tall, or standing and sitting nice and tall. It would be like if you were standing, but that you are engaging your core throughout doing this, okay? And then I want you to start thinking about how your arms are moving, and if your legs are starting to get a little tired, you can slow the march down if you need to. Just try not to ever stop moving altogether. So we do want to try to engage. If you find combining your arm movement and your leg movement together is a little difficult, you can rest one or the other. So resting your legs but still moving your arms, or resting your arms and still moving your legs. Really, really important. Again, moving like you're moving through a little bit of mud, so you're contracting your muscles as you're moving through that. So this is our first exercise, which we've been doing quite a bit of it throughout our warm-up as well, and just our marching. And now what I'd like us to go back and do, and this is an easy step for you to keep coming back to. So if later on in today's program you're like, oh, that's too hard for me to coordinate, just come back to some easy marching. Let your breath come back down before you try to do the exercise again with me. And also, if you can't keep up to the pace, that's okay. Slow it back down. Just come back to a little bit of, even heel taps here if that's a little bit more comfortable for you than thinking about doing that. So the next exercise is some toe taps out to the side. So it's easy if you kind of come a little bit forward on your chair so that you don't collapse back. Again, sitting up nice and tall. So just tapping and pressing with your hands. So arms will follow the legs out to the side and back. Again, stay nice and tall in your body, not trying to lean with your legs. So we're not trying to go too far over. We want to engage that upper body to do the work it needs to do and tap to the side. Again, if that's too much, just the taps or just the arms and press and press, press and press. Nice work, together. You can do opposite arm to opposite leg, or arms go with the leg. Okay, so those are our toe taps to the side. Nice. So again, we just come back to the marching. Everybody can notice, hopefully, that their breath is starting to increase a little bit. So just this little bit of movement has got our heart and our lungs working better together. So we're now going to go into a heel tap. Okay, so let's just work the legs first. Get that movement together. So it's just a tap and back, tap and back. Okay, so again, lifting the leg, staying tall in your body, not collapsing, keeping those shoulders over top of your hips, and a little tap. Now, let's practice it with the arms. So arms go forward and back, forward and back. If you can, keep your hands at your shoulder height. That's going to work your shoulders a little bit more. As you notice that's maybe a little bit too hard, you can lower the hands just to chest height or to waist height. Okay? So alternating where you have those hands. So I'm going waist, chest, and shoulder height here with each tap. Or I can keep them at my shoulder height for a few taps, then my chest height for a few taps, and you should start to notice, and then my waist height for a few taps. That's working the shoulders as well as the legs. And I hope you're smiling, noticing your breath increasing. So this is a great way, and again, if the arms are too much, you know, even just swinging them at your sides, like you'd be walking, keeping those heel taps going, okay? Or you want to give the legs a rest and just work with the arms. So really use the arms, you know, purposefully. So those muscles are pulling back, pushing forward, pull, push, push. Okay, and again, whatever height, chest or waist. Okay, keeping your back nice and tall, putting it both together. Heel taps and the arms at whatever height is comfortable. Okay, and let's march it back out, get our bearings about us again, see what our next move is. So we are still going to be marching with the legs, and now we're going to get curious with some arm circles. So arms down at our side, and start just doing small circles. Bring our arms up to shoulder height, small circles, and higher than our shoulders if you can, if it's comfortable for your shoulder joints to go a little bit higher. Okay, small circles. Now let's reverse the direction, stay high if you can, or at whatever comfortable height for you. Come down to chest, small circles, feeling it working the shoulders and the upper back, being nice and controlled with your movements. Your arms aren't just moving, you're lifting and lowering your arms through that circle. Lower the arms a little bit lower, and small circles at our sides. Awesome, let's go opposite direction, but really big arms. And we're still marching with our feet if we can, if we're coordinated. Sorry about you men out there that might not have the same coordination naturally as us women. But nice big circles with the arms. And now let's reverse the direction. Nice big circles. Keeping those legs going. You can change the legs to a tap if that's more comfortable. Big circles with the arms. And let's relax and march it out. Maybe shake out those arms a little bit. Hopefully you're noticing your breath a bit. Little taps. All right. We'll get back into marching. And what I want you to do with this march is I want you to slow your march down. Maybe wipe your brow like I just had to. Slow your march down. And I want you to lift those knees as high as you can without collapsing again in your torso. So sitting nice and tall, engaging your abdominal muscles to help support your balance in this upright posture. Now, what I'd like you to do is possibly you could place your hands on your shoulders, and then I want you to reach your opposite elbow towards your opposite knee. So you're going to be twisting at the torso and a little reach. A twist and a reach. When you twist, you should notice the side muscles of your tummy, your abdominal, your obliques, are going to be engaged. So it's just the intonation where we've got the intent to bring our elbow and shoulder towards that opposite knee. If you can't quite touch, that's okay. And you can also just do it without the knees, just reaching that elbow towards the opposite knee and feeling the side obliques, the tummy muscles there, working to do that. And all throughout this, I hope you've been breathing. I have not been able to hold my breath because I'm talking the whole time. I do love to talk. You might know that from seeing me in person before. But we do want to try to breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. So it can be this slow and controlled. It is really hard to slow down our movement, so don't get frustrated. We're always in a fast-paced world, but the turtle is just as important as the hare sometimes. So try to be the turtle or the tortoise, whatever you would like to associate with, but nice and slow and controlled. And focus with your breath. Awesome job. All right, well, that's some good tummy work. Maybe gave our heart a little bit of a relaxer. It's not as much of a cardio workout, that move, but just gives a nice interval into this exercise program. So we'll go back to our marching, and we're going to change up our exercises here. So I'm gonna show you the arms first. So the arms are going to go up, overhead. So press and lower. If that's too much, it can be a press to shoulder or a press to waist. Okay, so waist height, shoulder height, head height, or straight up and down. Okay, we can also do it with one arm at a time. So sometimes we might have more mobility in one shoulder than the other. So we could do one and one, one and one, one and one, one and one. What we're going to try to do with the legs as well, you do this one. So let's relax the arms for a second. The legs are just going to do a leg lift. So straighten the leg, lift it up. So it's not a real kick. We're just straightening the leg by lifting that foot. And again, not collapsing in our torso at all. We're staying nice and tall. And then we would do our arms and our legs together. Are you ready? So up and down, up and down. So I'm doing alternating our legs, arms straight up in the air. If that's too high, go to head height. That's still a little bit too high. Shoulder height with the arms, or a little lower. If you want some real fun and excitement, you can do legs and arms together. So that can be high, breathing. Awesome. Or back to single. Even single arm and single leg is okay too. Okay? Lots of variations here. So it doesn't matter what your exercise is looking for you like at home compared to mine. It's not a competition, but it's just about always moving. So maybe that's giving your arms a bit of a break. Your shoulders maybe have worked more than they have for quite some time. So maybe we just give them a break and we work with our legs. If you're trying to do your legs together, you could support yourself with your hands on your chair just lightly. You don't want to really lean and lift. You do still want to be using your legs to do the lifting, but your arms can be just there for a little bit of balance and support. All right, great job, everyone. Let's go back to marching. And if you need to, I think I'm going to take a little sip while my chatting is drying my mouth out. Awesome. Okay, so we can give our legs a little bit of a break, maybe even come back a bit in our chair. So one hip at a time coming back. And what we can try here is some arm rolls. So some of you back in your boxing day maybe did this technique with a punching bag. And so just nice and controlled. So again, our arms aren't just flailing anywhere. We're, a light fist in the hand is sometimes helpful. Keeping those arms contracted a little bit of a flex, flexing those muscles while we turn circles with the wrists. So the speed is not that important. Keeping those shoulders relaxed is important, so we don't want you to be working the shoulders too much. We just want to be relaxed. The arms, again, can be at whatever height is comfortable. So maybe down low, we've got a low punching bag. Maybe we've got a punching bag right at chest height. Or maybe we have a punching bag, at about head height. That's what my punching bag is sounding like for me. I've never, boxed before, but it makes, it does look so easy when they do it in the movies, but I don't know that I could get it going. So let's reverse our circle here. Keep it high if you can. You can also start to lower it to chest height and just working around. And again, slowing down your circles if you need to, or going a little bit faster, but again, always controlled in the movement. You can lower a little bit more, feeling those shoulders get a little bit of a reprieve with our lower arms here. And go back up if you'd like. Chest height. I don't even know if that's what the speed bag would sound like, actually. And then going a little bit higher. High speed bag, really working the shoulders, feeling it in the tops of the shoulders. Don't let them creep up towards your ears though. And let's reverse the direction and let's just turn 45 degrees. Keep your hands above shoulder height if you can right here. A little bit longer, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Come back to chest height, nice and controlled. And then lower to waist height. Again, if your arms are getting too tired and you need a break, you can slow the circle down a little. Breathing. Now let's reverse direction and reverse side. So 45 degrees the other way. And working low. How low can you go? And then let's bring it up to center. Chest height. Maybe speed up a little bit if you can. Or not. If you need to relax, you can take a little break, maybe do some marching with your legs, just don't stop altogether. Again, you can slow down those circles for just the last. If you feel a little bit of a shake in your muscles, that's them getting excited that you're working them. So let's enjoy that, and then let's shake it out. All right, good job, good job. So let's just march it out here, and let's just do some circles with our shoulders. So nice and slow marches. And then let's reverse the direction with those circles on the shoulders. Feeling really, really good. All right. So how many of you used to do jumping jacks as a kid? And how long has it been since you've done a jumping jack? So we're going to come a little bit more forward on our chairs. We're going to stay supported though by our chairs, so don't feel like you're wobbling off. Try to have your knees to 90 so that your ankles are right below your knees. Again, sitting up nice and tall. So the jumping jack does look like this. So we're going out and in. If that's too much, we can break it down to one leg, one arm, other arm, back in, back in, back in, back in, or arm and leg together, arm and leg together, arm and leg back in, arm and leg back in. So whatever variation could work for you, leg, leg, arm, arm, leg, leg, arm, arm, or like I said, 2 and 2, in and out. Awesome. So again, moving with purpose, pressing those limbs out, pulling those limbs back in. If you can, get ambitious and go out and in, out and in. Awesome. Again, arms can just be at shoulder height instead of above, or even a little lower, okay? Or we can just work arms. So You can do lots of variations here with your arms. Get creative. Show me some new moves. Fortunately, I can't see you, but I'm imagining your big smiles, you're having fun. The arms can have a break, and we can just do the legs. Out, out, in, out, in, okay? Or together, out and in, out and in. Don't forget to breathe. Awesome. Let's do a couple more, all at once if you can. Woo! And now, smile, because you can say, I did a jumping jack today. Out and in, out and in. Awesome job. Okay, so we are going to shake it out here a little bit. So maybe some heel taps just to give those hip flexors a little bit of a rest. We are going to do some knee raises. Okay, so really high, lifting those knees up as high as you can. You should feel it also working your tummy muscles. If you sit nice and tall and you're trying to reach those knees as high as you can, awesome. You can try two together. Remembering to breathe for this one. This is a little bit more work. You can use your arms like we did before to brace yourself. But your torso should not be doing a lot of rocking to lift those. You know, we're not trying to use our back to lift, so I don't want you to be rocking like that. I want you to use your abdominal muscles. So your tummy muscles should be tightening up here to try and lift those. And don't worry about how high you lift. If you're just coming off the floor with your feet a little, awesome. Or switch it up. Go back to those single knees, up as high as you can. Don't collapse the body. Feel those tummy muscles working. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Getting nice, strong abdominal muscles to support your back muscles. Awesome. Whew, all right, let's just tap those heels out in front. Give those hip flexors a little bit of a rest, or if you need to, press up from your heels, stand up for a second. You know, you can shake it out, slowly lower back down. We're almost done. We've got our kick and punches to do. So let's figure out the arms here. So this is our punch. Our punch is going to be slow and controlled. We're straightening the arm, but we're not locking the elbow. That can be at shoulder height. It can be at, you know, chest height. It can be even up a little bit higher and diagonal it across to maybe a head height. Okay, so this is our arm movement. Let's relax the arms. Let's look at the leg movements. So we're doing a kick and a punch. Okay, so we're kind of putting some previous movements together here. So we're going to kick and punch. I like to do the opposite arm and opposite leg. So kick and punch. This is what we're doing to the coronavirus. We're going to punch it out of our universe if we ever get there. And we will. Okay, so kick and punch. Kick and punch. Kick and punch. Okay, doing this with intention. Awesome job. And again, if one's too much, we can take that arm a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and even lower. Okay, or just the legs up. Extend. Feel the thigh muscles, the tops of those thighs working as you straighten the leg. Straighten the leg. Leading with that heel, you're kind of pressing through your heel as you straighten the leg. Straighten the leg. Perfect. Let's put it together again. Almost there. Nice job. Nice work. Let's go back to our march. All right. So what we're going to do next is a little bit of a Charleston. So I'm just going to show you the move. You're actually going to sit on the edge of your chair. Okay, so kind of one thigh and bum is hanging off of the chair. The other thigh is secure on the chair. Your hand can hold on to the side of the chair for a little bit of support. You're going to press your heel out in front. Okay, and then you're going to bring it to the starting point. And then you're going to drop your toe behind. To starting point, heel, starting point, toe back. Okay? So this is the move here, and again, trying to stay nice and tall in your body. And then we can put some arms to it. So you're either holding on with one for a little bit, of support, and then you can kind of do, 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 do. This is supposed to be the Charleston, they say. So you can sing any tune you'd like. Okay, if you have both arms that you'd like to move, we can kind of do that as well. So I kind of like to do opposite arms. I don't really know a Charleston song, so that's. And then of course, we want to work both sides of the body, so we will have to move. So just tiny little steps and shifts to the other side. Make sure you're not going to kick anything. And again, hang one side off the chair. The other side is sitting nicely on the chair. So heels and toes forward and back. Okay? When you're ready, you can add in the arms. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And we can do both arms if we want. Okay? Again, nice and slow and controlled. Awesome. And that's the Charleston. So not only did you do a jumping jack today, but now you've danced the Charleston. Little jazz hands. Do, 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 do. Okay. All right, let's come forward. Let's grab our box or stool and place it in front of us. And what we're going to do here is, again, come to this a little bit forward in our chair. Feet should be flat on the floor. Knees nice to 90. And we're going to tap the toe. Okay? We can come up, up, down, down. So up, down, down. Again, nice, light touches on the step. Okay? Depends on how wide your box is for the box step that you're using or the stool you've got. It's possibly not very wide, but you could open it up and do what we call a little V step. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So that could be just to the edge of your little step stool and back down. So making sure that your weight is predominantly over top of your waist, your torso. You're not leaning so that you don't fall off the side of your step at home. Okay? Let's switch the lead leg. So my left leg was always going up and down first. Now I bring my right leg up. So you can go wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Arms can follow. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. And remember, if you have a narrow step at home, it might just look more like this compared to right in. Okay, nice and light with those feet. And we can tap on the floor. And then lead with the opposite leg. Tap, tap. This is our box step. Perfect. All right, we just have a couple more to do. Good work. Let's go back just to marching up and down. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. Good work. All right. Let's put our step to the side. And let's grab either our paper plates or our cloth. I think for this one I will use the plates. They're clashing with my outfit though. You're going to again sit on the edge of your chair, and it's going to be like you're skiing. So one foot slides forward, the other one slides back underneath your chair. Your toes stay in contact with the plate the whole time as you slide and slide. So it's like you're skiing. So then your arms pretend they've got holes in them, and they can start swinging forward and back. Nice job, everyone. we've almost done a half an hour of cardio. So if you found that this has been too long for you, you could be trying to just do, the first 20 minutes of the video, and then consistently do that. As that gets a little bit easier, you can add a little bit more time. If you guys have been good with this, then that's awesome. We'll kind of keep going. Awesome job. So again, if the arms get a little tired, just do the legs. If the legs need a little bit of a break, stop the sliding and just do the arms. So again, reaching, feeling the whole body stretch in the upper body as you reach through with your arms. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. All right. Those are our paper plate slides. Okay? Awesome job. So we'll reach down, get rid of our plates, and we are going to do one last move before we review every one of them quickly and then get into our cool down. So arms are actually going to go side to side, kind of like hands are up, palms facing forward, like you're smearing, the window. You're doing a wipe along the window. These are our windshield wipers. Okay, so this is our arm movement. And again, whatever height is comfortable, waist, shoulder, overhead. Okay? Again, concentrating, not swaying with the body so much, but moving just the arms. Relax the arms. Let's look at the leg movement. So the legs are going to go side to side, kind of like we're mobiling down the ski hill. Boop. I don't even know if that's a real word, mobiling, but boop, boop. Okay, back and forth. And then guess what? We're staying tall on our torso. We're engaging our tummy muscles. If you press firmly into your tummy, you should be able to, underneath our protective layer of fat, you should be able to find, a little firmness under there. Those are your abdominal muscles. All right, let's relax the legs. So remember, the arms and the legs are going to go together, but opposite. Okay, so we're smearing from the opposite sides. Okay. Again, if this is a little bit too much, we can go, sorry, that was wrong. We can kind of just bring the legs over one at a time. As we do that, we can add in the arms, okay? So it can look like this, or both together. Staying nice and tall, and again, wherever the arms want to be, and you're breathing. Good job. And those are our windshield wipers. Woohoo! All right. Way to go. So let's march it out. If you guys need to stop, please fast forward to the cool down portion. If you're ready to keep going, then we are going to do another 10 minutes, and then we're going to go into our cool down and our stretches. All right. So let's just review all of the exercises we did from the top. So we're going to do some marching on the spot. So again, thinking that we're using our legs and our arms purposefully. We're lifting and lowering. We're not just flailing them and letting them go crazy. We're staying nice and tall in our body, doing the nice marching. Now remember, we had a tap to the side with the toes. I always like to kick this little. So tap and a tap. Tap. Follow with the arms. Tap, 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 tap. So again, if you're a little bit more forward on your chair, you have more ability to extend your range of motion in that tap out to the side, and tap, and tap. We're going to do each of these exercises for about 30 seconds. Maybe we'll do 45 seconds, because that might take us for a full 10 minutes then. All right, good job. So that's our toe tap to the side. Come back to our little march to gain our bearings again. And now, a little tap with the heels. So a tap and back, tap and back. So again, slowing it down really gets you feeling what muscles are working here. Then you can concentrate Concentrate on your breath. If you need a little break, or if you're feeling like you want to keep working, you like the heat, you can tap it out a little faster. In and out, always be controlled. Arms at whatever height is comfortable. Head, shoulder, chest, waist. Okay? And kind of keep going through the whole thing at different heights. The sky is the limit. The world is your oyster. Just keep moving. Our bodies are made to move, and sweat is in you to give. You've got this. All right. March it out. So we've got those circles. So starting low and small. And then a little higher and small. Nice and tall. Feeling that working the shoulders a little bit. Our legs are a little tired. Awesome job. Higher and small. And then let's reverse direction. Stay high and stay small with those circles. Breathing, enjoying, smiling. Okay, not singing, you're right. Waist height. Shoulder height and small. Good. If those legs are getting tired, you can tap them out or relax them. Arms down low and small. Awesome job. Okay, even just heel taps, heel raises. Now, arms go big and forward. Big and forward. Nice. Free. Wheeling with the legs, either marching, tapping those heels. Let's reverse the direction of the arms, big and back and around. Awesome. Perfect. So, hands to the shoulders. We'll relax the legs for a second, and remember, just feel those tummy muscles working to bring the opposite arm, full thing, elbow and shoulder towards the opposite knee, sitting back tall. Twist up. Okay, and again, slow and gentle, only through a range of motion that's comfortable for you. If you do need to pause and stretch something out, you can. You can also stay tall and try to reach your opposite elbow to your opposite knee. Nice work here. A little break for the legs, a little abdominal work. Awesome. Let's press those arms up and down as we kick our feet out. Out and in, out and in. Again, arms can be whatever height is comfortable. Down low. You can also open the arms and close them. Those feet up. Good job. Nice work. All right. So legs can be relaxed here. This is our arm circles. So that punching bag, we've got that little speed bag. We're back in the gym of old, getting ready for our boxing match. So it can be down low, at our shoulder, a little bit higher, reverse the direction, come a little lower, and lower yet. 45 degrees, reversing the direction, come to shoulder height. Slow down your rolls if you need to, but again, try to keep the arms in control. Up a little higher, reverse your direction, reverse your 45. So turn the other way, stay high, come down to the middle, and then how low can you go? Down low. Nice job. And breathe. Woohoo! All right, who's excited for the next move? Shake those arms out a little bit. We're going to do our jumping jacks. So remember, out, out, in, out, out, in. Together. Or single legs. Okay? Arms can be whatever height is comfortable. And it can just be the arms if you need to. Okay? What did you do today? I did a jumping jack. Not many people can say that. So way to go. Awesome job. 5 more seconds. We'll move on. Good work. All right, so let's lift those knees as high as you can. Really engage those core muscles again. So again, you should feel those tummy muscles helping you lift that knee higher. Really using all parts of our body here. Staying nice and tall, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Nice job. Good work. This is a workout. Woohoo! I'm glad I'm in the coolness of our gym here at the Minto Rural Health Center. We hope to invite you back here soon, but we're glad that you have joined us. All right, so we're going to do our kicks again. So kick it out, and now punch it out. Oh gosh, see, I'm not always coordinated either. So opposite arm, opposite leg, kick and punch. And it's really not wrong to do same arm, same leg. I'm just sometimes a perfectionist and think, no, I want to be opposite. Kick and punch, kick and punch. Because then I can get just a little bit of a twist in my torso. And when we can twist our torso a little bit by staying tall, that will help our abdominal muscles. And strong abdominal muscles are so good to help with our back, support our back. So kick, kick, kick. Awesome. And don't worry, we're going to the dance hall next to do a little bit of Charleston. So let's relax those arms. Turn to our side. Again, let one leg come off the side. We're going to tap the heel in front, pull the toes back. Arms can go with us, opposite. Okay, do, 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 do. Again, I don't even know if that's the beat of the Charleston, but I feel it is. And we can kind of do a little bit of jazz hands if you want, so a little woo, do, 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 do. And then keep marching as we turn to the other side. And again, we're going do, 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 forward and back. The song that comes to my mind is I Love Turtles. So he kind of had a cane, and you know, when that commercial was a turtle in a tuxedo. All right, almost there. A couple more. Nice job. All right, come back to the center. We'll grab our stool. We'll do a little bit of box stepping. Just to stand up for one. So again, so up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Wider if you want. Okay. So you're leading with the same leg. The same leg's going up first and coming down first. Now tap that toe and then lead again with that other foot. So now the opposite leg is going up first and down first. Awesome. Arms can go with the legs. Out, out, in, out. Maybe your wide step is not as wide as mine, so maybe you're a little bit narrower like this. Okay? Or maybe you're just doing it right in front of you. So hands, shoulder, waist, or head height. Hello. Okay? Nice job. 2 more exercises and then we'll cool down. Good work. Okay, dokie, artichoke. So, move the box out of our way. And grab our sliders. And I'm going to try the paper towels this time, see if they work a little bit better. Get creative, so toes on them. And we're skiing. We're maybe training for the Winter Olympics in cross-country distance. Well, we're only going to do the 45-second dash today, but going forward and back. Reaching, letting that foot go right under our chair. Awesome job. Great. And we'll get rid of our slides and we'll do our wipers. Remember, either side with the feet. either together or one at a time, okay? And arms go opposite. Nice work. Woohoo! So again, whatever height the arms need to be at, they can be, or we just do one or the other. Maybe it's a single tap. You're really doing great. We're almost there. Maybe it's together. And now we can just slowly tap it out. Arms just low to the ground. We don't have to lift too high. We're going to go right into our cool down here. Nice deep breaths. Tapping our toes out to the side, not too far. Again, it should just feel nice and easy. A little reach, a little heel out front. Awesome. You can also do this in standing. Good work. All right, so hopefully your heart rates have come down a little bit. Please grab a little bit of a drink of water here. We're going to finish off with some stretches. So I'm going to do a bunch of stretches sitting in the chair, and then some stretches standing, and then you'll be free to go about your day. So let's start with just some circles with the shoulders, forward and back. So lifting up right around to your ears and down through your back shoulders. You can be a little bit forward in your chair so that your chair is not impeding you to do this. You can also do this standing up if you've had enough of sitting. The good news is that the sitting we've been doing for the last 50 minutes has been active sitting. So it's not as bad for us as just sedentary sitting. So don't worry about that. Awesome job. So keep your chin off of your chest. Take one ear towards your shoulder without turning your chin towards that shoulder. Gently press or make this opposite shoulder a little bit heavy to feel a nice stretch right here side of your neck. Breathe. Should feel nice and good. We used a lot of shoulder muscles today, which can get the neck engaged, so we do want to reward the muscles for some activity that we just did. Okay, so when we're stretching, we don't want to bounce. We want to just breathe nice and deeply, and we want to relax all of our body. Okay, slowly come back up to center and drop the ear down towards the other side, feeling a nice stretch on this side, so letting this shoulder grow a little heavy. Both of them relaxing down, feeling a nice stretch on the other side. Awesome job. Breathing. And then slowly come back up, and let's do one more time each side. So again, feeling a nice stretch in here, letting this shoulder get a little heavier, going down towards the floor. Keeping your chin up. You're looking straight ahead. You're not turning yet towards your shoulder at all. And breathing should feel really yummy. You should feel really good. It's a way to reward the muscles for all the work we just put in. Good. Slowly back to center. And then one more time on the other side. And breathing. With your exhalation, just melt down even further. Let those shoulders sink towards the floor. Let your head get a little heavier, but just your ear directly over your shoulder, not allowing your chin down or anything like that. Eyes can come closed. If you notice mine were closed there, it's just nice to feel the stretch. Be in the moment, not looking how my shape might be different than yours. So I'm coming back up. We're going to do a very similar stretch, but we are going to turn 45 degrees. Then we're going to look down towards our shirt, like we have a pocket there. Okay, and then let this shoulder, again, get a little heavy. We should feel that more in the back of the neck, maybe down in towards the shoulder. This should feel really, really good. If you need a little bit of a further stretch, gently bring your hand onto the top of your head. Just the weight of it. You're not pulling, but just a gentle weight there. Again, to feel a nice stretch into the neck. So slowly come back up and forward, and then turn to the other side, 45 degrees, shoulder down, look at that pocket in your shirt, let this shoulder get a little bit heavy. You can, again, bring that hand up to the back of your head. Just weight it down. Don't pull. Be gentle here. Breathe. Ooh. Nice audible breath out. Awesome. Release the hand if you've used it. Slowly come up back to center. We're going to do that one more time each side. So again, turn. Look down at your pocket. You should notice, hopefully, that there's not as much tension maybe the second time with all of the stretches. Whenever you repeat a stretch on the same side for the second time, you might notice you can lean into the stretch a little bit further before you feel the same amount of tension. And that's a good thing. That means that you stretched well the first time. The body responded to that. So slowly come back up, release your hand, turn to center, and one last time on the other side. Looking down towards the pocket in your shirt, making this shoulder a little bit heavier, feeling a nice stretch in there. Again, stretching just to comfort. You should just want a little tension, not pain. If you need to support the stretch a little bit more, a little weight in the back of the head, not pulling it. Breathing, be kind to yourself. And then releasing your hand if you have, slowly come back up, turning towards center. So we're going to do some stretches for our our chest and our upper back. So just come a little bit forward in your chair. Make sure you bring your feet forward too, just so you have some support. One hand on top of the other hand. You're going to press your arms forward and then slowly drop your chin to your chest, keeping your shoulders relaxed to feel a nice stretch in the upper back, right across your shoulders. And you also might feel that in the neck a little bit because you're letting your head get heavy here, chin towards your chest, breathing and exhaling. Slowly release the arms down and then bring your hands behind your back. If you can, I'll turn so you can see what I'm doing. I want you to clasp your hands behind your back and squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift your arms off of your back. If not, you can just place your hands on your waist, on your lower back, and squeeze your shoulder blades together, or have them down. You want to have a nice stretch in the front of the chest, okay? And breathe. Again, keeping those shoulders relaxed. You're not trying to lift them up. They're nice and relaxed. You should feel really comfortable, really good. Good, and on an exhale, gently release your hands and then place them one on top of the other. We'll do the forward stretch again. Pressing your hands away from you, lowering your chin towards your chest, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Again, your arms to whatever height is comfortable, but no higher than your shoulder height. Awesome. And release and come back and squeeze. Lift those hands off of your body if you can clasp your hands together. If not, hands on the back, on the lower back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to bring your elbows toward one another. And breathing. Perfect. Now let's shake those arms out a little bit. Let's bring one arm across your chest, keeping that arm straight. Reaching underneath with your other hand to your forearm and pulling that straight arm towards you without twisting. So just your arm is coming across your body, and you should feel a nice pull in that shoulder, okay? So you can hold onto your forearm, hold onto your elbow. You can even be raising your hand up over your shoulder if that's comfortable. Again, we just really want to focus on feeling a nice stretch in the front of the shoulder. Really, I guess it's the back, but it becomes the front of it as you pull it towards you. Feeling a nice, comfortable stretch in there. Releasing down. Other arm comes straight across your body. Keep that arm straight if you can to feel a nice pull there. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, go down to the elbow and bend that straight arm and reach it right round to your back without twisting. You're not twisting your body at all. Just the arm is turning to feel a nice pull right in here. Awesome. Relax down. Other arm comes straight across. Pull across. Again, you should notice there's a little bit of less tension there in the shoulder that we're stretching. Should feel really good. Close your eyes if you like. And slowly relax down, and the other arm comes back across. Nice job. circles with our shoulders. We're going to do 3 more stretches. We're going to move down into our leg stretches. So the first stretch, come forward on your chair. If you aren't there already, straighten one leg. Let that leg just rest on the floor, on the heel. The toes are not pulled up towards you. Other knee is bent at 90, ankle right under the knee. Sitting up nice and tall. As you exhale, lean forward and support yourself on the bent leg. Don't collapse in the chest. We're not coming right down over. Don't pull this toe up towards you, and you should feel a really nice stretch in your hamstrings there, the muscles of the back of your thigh. Okay, this knee can be slightly bent, and you should feel a really nice stretch from the back of the knee all the way up towards your bum. So breathing, relaxing, smiling. Awesome. So slowly come back up, switch legs, resting that outer foot. Don't pull the toes up, sit nice and tall as you exhale. Feel a nice, comfortable, loving pull in the back of the thigh there. Again, this knee can be slightly bent. Don't pull the toes up, and slightly push your bum back. Keep your body tall, your head and chest are up, but not reaching. You don't want to extend the neck. We just stretch the neck and shoulders out, so we want to keep that relaxed. Feeling a lovely, sunshiny stretch in the back of the thigh, your hamstrings. Awesome. Repeat once more for each side. So relaxing that other leg up nice and tall. Exhale as you come forward. Again, you should notice that you might be able to lean a little bit more forward this time than you did the first time. And that's just because of the effectiveness of that first stretch. You've improved your range of motion. Yay! So you should feel a nice smile grow across your face because of that. It should feel really good. And these are good stretches to do at any time in the day. So if you did a lot of gardening and your arms are heavy and sore and you feel some tension in your neck, do those stretches we did at the beginning. Very, very helpful. So come back up and one last time. Get ready to smile. Nice and tall, lean forward, and oh my gosh, I can go in further. Who knew? How exciting. So this is just your body's way of, thanking you while you're thanking it. It's a great relationship to have with one. Pay attention to how you feel, find tension anywhere, and look for ways to stretch it out, relax it out, stay hydrated, really important. Then we're going to stand up to do the last 2 stretches after this one's finished here. So we'll slowly come back up, feet underneath us. We're going to lean forward as we press up through our heels, and we will turn to face the back of our chairs. I'll just move my props here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come nice and close to our chair, standing nice and tall. You can adjust your clothing if needed. You're going to step 1 foot back. That back foot is going to stay straight, heel on the floor. Front knee is going to bend. You want to look down at your feet to make sure that they're perfect skis. Their toes are pointing straight ahead. Heel is not going out or in. And your feet are still hip width apart. Weight is in that back heel, and you should feel a nice stretch in the calf muscle. Okay, so the lower leg at the back of the back leg. And you want to notice that your front knee is not going ahead of those toes, so you're not like this. If you are, you want to widen your stance. So bring that front foot a little bit forward so that front knee stays mostly over the front ankle. Okay, feeling a nice, comfortable stretch in the calf muscle. We'll work that a little bit today. Okay. Nice breaths here. Body up nice and tall. We're not really leaning onto the chair. We want the weight in our feet. We want to feel the stretch comfortably in our calf there. Let's switch legs. So the back foot comes forward, front foot goes back. Again, look down to make sure your skis are in perfect alignment. You don't want one turned out or one turned in. You've got to follow the tracks. Weight on the back heel. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. Feeling a nice pull in the calf muscle on the back leg there. Breathing in and out. You try your horsey breath if you'd like. So a breath in one more to do on each side. And so again, we might notice that, there's not as much tension there. Something to dance about, but we're not going to be bouncing or jumping here. We're just holding the stretch nicely. Okay? Keeping that back heel on the ground, front knee is bent. Enjoying the stretch. Horsey lips if you want, or just an audible happy sigh. Kind of like Ellen DeGeneres would at the end of her show. Anyway, she kind of goes, so enjoy that. All right, I think that's been 30 seconds. This is so comfortable. I just want to stay in the stretch, so I apologize if that felt too long for you. One more time on the other side, and again, maybe that smile is growing across your face because you realize that, oh my goodness, I don't have as much tension in this calf as I did the first time with this stretch. As if I can control how much tension I might have in my muscles. I didn't know that stretching would be so helpful. It's amazing how I can read your mind, isn't it? Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this. We have one more stretch to do, a couple different ways to do it, and I will show you how. And the last stretch is for our thigh muscles, the big meaty muscles on the front of our legs. So, first way, you can grab on to the back of your shoe, right around to the back of your ankle if that's too much. Doesn't work the best with capris. If you had a pair of pants, you can hold on to your pant leg. You could also grab a strap. I'll grab one here and show you what I mean. You can put a strap around your ankle and hold it up like that. Or you can bring your chair, hold on to the wall, and place your foot in the chair to feel a nice pull in the front of the thigh here, okay? So making sure that you're holding on to something that's maybe hard for you to see, but I do have my hand on the wall here. Stretching is not a time to practice your balance, because if I'm trying to hold myself up, I'm now engaging the muscles that I'm trying to stretch, and you can't stretch a contracted muscle. The muscle needs to relax, and that's what helps to spread the smile around your face when you switch to the other side for the second time. So there's our 30 seconds there. Let's switch and do the other leg. So again, standing nice and tall. And feeling a nice stretch in the front of our opposite leg. Or, if you can hold on to the back of your chair and grab on to your ankle, staying nice and tall. So not letting your hips go out either side. You want to stay nice and tall. So press up through the heel of the standing leg. Keep your leg down and relaxed, though. We're not lifting the knee forward or out to the side. We're keeping that just hanging down right beside the other one. Feeling a nice pull in the front of the thigh there. Awesome. And slowly releasing. And then one more time for each side. So we'll grab the other side, again with either a strap around our ankle or placing our foot in the chair and holding on to the countertop or wall, or having another chair and then my foot could be rested in the chair behind me. But I can't just hold my foot up like this because I'm engaging my muscles then. So I need my foot to rest on something, either rest in my hand or rest on the edge of my pant leg or the chair or resting in the strap to get the stretch. Okay, and again, you should be smiling because this feels so good. Slowly lower down, and the last time on the other side, nice and tall. So just a couple things about the exercises that we did today while we do this last stretch. I'll turn to face you. And so I want you to try to think about, we can always email you copies of these exercises, so you have a little bit of a handout to do at home. Some of you might already have that. Just reach out to us if you need that. And what you can do is, even start by performing these 14 exercises for maybe like 30 seconds for each exercise, or you can just select a few and work on doing some of those and slowly building your time. Today was maybe a long video, and like I said, just do the first 20 minutes of the video. Keep doing that consistently. When that gets a little bit easier, then try the first 25 minutes of the video and keep going, so on and so forth. When the exercise becomes too hard and it's a little bit too much for you to do, just focus on either just doing the arms or just doing the legs, one or the other, but do not stop moving altogether. Really important to just keep moving a little bit to kind of catch your breath again and come back into it. So it's really more important to
increase the length of time you can do these exercises for, not the speed with which you do them. So faster for a shorter period of time is not better, okay? So slower movements. Remember, we want to embrace the tortoise and focus on increasing your time than increasing your pace so much. As the exercise becomes a little bit too easy, then remember to kind of engage both the arms and the legs at the same time, and maybe you kind of hover, so you don't always wait for that foot to come back and to place the other foot forward, so you can kind of move them simultaneously, so you're kind of almost hovering your feet over the ground a little bit more. That will also help to make them a little bit harder. I worked up a little bit of a sweat here, so it's great for any age to do some seated cardio. Just remember about your posture, engaging your core, and not getting sloppy and using your body to kind of flail your arms or your legs forward and back. Okay, so really try to be really focused in your movement. And the idea would be for our heart and health fitness is that we want to engage in this type of cardio workouts at least 150 minutes over the course of 1 week, spread out at least over 4 or more days. And this can be done in bouts of 15 minutes or longer, accumulated over the course of the day to achieve those numbers. So I hope you had a fantastic time with us here today, and let us know how you enjoyed the video.